Hi everyone, I'm Cheryl and welcome to the Sewing Room channel. I'm going to demonstrate how to make this very basic pot holder, but what's different about it is I have an applique on it of a Christmas tree. Now the version I'm showing you on this tree applique is really easy. This pot holder is super easy. This is really a beginner's project. So let's get started. Now you're going to need two 8-inch squares for this pot holder. The front and back can be different colors or it can be the same fabric. On just one of the 8-inch squares, you're going to cut a hole in it. All right, this hole will be used later on for something. So you want to cut it about 2 inches long. So then lay all your fabrics together. If you want a loop on the pot holder so that you can hang it up, take a piece of fabric that's about 1.5 inches wide by about 4.5 inches long. So you take your two long edges and you fold them in towards the center and press, and then fold it in half and press, and then stitch along the edge all the way across. On one side, you're going to place the loop and fold it in half and then bring the two ends side by side and pin it down. Then take your other piece of fabric and place it on top. Place pins around the edges and then stitch a 1/4 inch wide seam all the way around. So that your corners will lay a little smoother, you want to trim some of the fabric off at all 4 corners. So I first like to go across at a diagonal. Now make sure you don't cut into your stitch line, otherwise you're going to have to stitch it again. So then cut a little bit more off of each side. And then make sure you do all 4 corners. Now go through your hole and turn it front side out. And so right now it should look like this. Now don't worry about this hole. We're going to be covering that up pretty soon. To draw your Christmas tree, take a 6-inch square of paper and then fold it in half. Using a ruler and a pencil, or pen if you like, place the ruler over the folded edge, and you're going to go out a 1/2 inch from the folded edge and 1 inch from the bottom. And you're going to draw a line. Then place the 1 inch line on the bottom edge of the paper and draw straight across. Then take your ruler and you're going to place it on a diagonal from this corner down here up to this point, and then line it up and draw a line. On this next step, I would definitely use a pencil. But to draw the wavy lines to make it look like it's branches on a tree, you're going to start up at the top and you're just going to crisscross back and forth over that long line. So I only went out just a little bit up at the top and then came in a little bit more and out, and each time I went in and out I got a little bit longer. Then when you get down to the bottom, just kind of curve it around. So before you cut it out, if you don't like your squiggly line, you can adjust it. Now if you wanted the branches deeper going in and out, of course you can draw much farther outside of the line. So once you've got it drawn to your satisfaction, then go ahead and cut all the way around. These are the fabrics that I'm using for the tree applique. This is going to be facing out when I'm done. So this will be the finished size. And I'm just using plain fabric on the back of the applique because no one's going to see it. So place the pretty side up of this fabric. Then take whatever fabric you want on the underside of the tree, lay it on top. Now take your tree applique pattern and you can either pin it down or put a little weight on top, and then go ahead with pencil and just trace close to the edge of your template all the way around. So once your lines are drawn, I stitch right on top of my drawn lines. So stitch all the way around it, and then go ahead and cut it out. And then you want to cut a little hole in the fabric that will be on the underside. The next step will be is to trim the corners off down here, just like you did on the pot holder. And then on all the curved edges, you're going to do little clips all the way around. And this will help it to lay down flat once you turn it front side out. Now, go in through your opening here and begin turning the tree front side out. So after your tree is turned front side out, you want to go ahead and reach in with your finger or a little stick and push against all of the curved edges, pushing it out. Then go to your ironing board and press it flat. Then take your applique and center it on the front side of the pot holder. And of course, pin it down. Then you can do an applique stitch around all of the edges. If all you have is a sewing machine that does a straight stitch, then you can go ahead and do a straight stitch real close to the edge all the way around. If your machine does have a zigzag, you can use the zigzag stitch. But if you have a computerized sewing machine, you probably have at least 2 of these little applique stitches that I'm showing you. These are different size of a satin stitch, and the others are applique. I believe this is the one I used on the pot holder. So select one of your stitches and then go ahead and finish it off. And this is what it looked like when it's done. Well, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and that you learned something new. Now, if you're interested in other holiday pot holders, I have a lot of them, and I will have a playlist down below of my pot holders. So you can select any of the pot holders and use Christmas fabric. I have a lot of applique projects, so you will see some of those pot holders that have appliques on it also. Now, don't forget to follow me on Instagram and check out my Facebook page. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time, and happy sewing. If you like the Sewing Room channel, one of the best ways to show your support is to subscribe by clicking on that red subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. And don't forget to click on share to share this video with your friends. And make sure you click on the bell so you receive notifications for all my new videos. I'm Cheryl. This is Manny. See you next time.